Welcome to Mindful Moments. Nourish your mind on the go. This audio uses AI narration to present our original book analysis. Today we're diving deep into All the Light We Cannot See. It's a Pulitzer Prize-winning novel by Anthony Doerr, a captivating journey through wartime Europe. Seemingly disparate lives intersect amidst chaos and resilience.
It resonates on multiple levels. The historical backdrop of World War II, intimate portrayal of characters navigating unimaginable circumstances, exploration of profound themes that transcend the specific time period.
I feel like we're about to uncover some hidden gems in this deep dive. Doerr drops us right into occupied France and Nazi Germany during World War II. What struck you about how he sets the stage?
The contrast, it's stark. On one hand, there's Saint-Malo, a coastal town in France, holding its breath under the constant threat of bombing and invasion. You can almost feel the fear and uncertainty, the disruption of daily life, the sense of everything familiar crumbling. Then you're transported to Nazi Germany, specifically the chilling efficiency of a Nazi training academy. It's all about strict discipline, relentless competition, a suffocating push for conformity.
And within these contrasting settings, we meet Marie-Laure, a blind French girl, and Werner, a gifted German orphan. Their childhoods, the worlds apart, are shaped by loss and hardship. I was particularly moved by Marie-Laure's father, and the lengths he goes to help her navigate a world that's literally dark for her.
Building that intricate model of their neighborhood, it isn't just a practical solution for her blindness. It becomes a powerful symbol, a symbol of order and control amidst the chaos of war, a lifeline to the world, and a testament to her father's unwavering love and dedication.
It makes you think about how we create our own internal maps of the world, those mental models that help us make sense of things, especially during turbulent times.
Precisely. And then there's Werner, whose talent for radio becomes both a gift and a burden. The novel doesn't shy away from the complexities, how technology can be used for good and evil, for connection and control.
It's almost like both Marie-Laure and Werner find solace in creating their own worlds. Marie-Laure through her tactile model, Werner through the invisible world of radio waves.
That's a really insightful connection. Both characters seek refuge and agency in their respective constructions, demonstrating their resilience and thirst for knowledge, despite the limitations imposed by their circumstances.
Now, let's talk about the Sea of Flames diamond, this legendary gem with a rumored curse. It's almost like a character itself, woven into the fabric of the narrative.
The Sea of Flames adds another layer of intrigue and complexity to the story. It becomes entangled with Marie-Laure and her father's escape from Paris, heightening the danger and urgency of their journey.
It's fascinating how Doerr contrasts the diamond's beauty and allure with the brutality of the war that surrounds it. You have this object of immense value, representing desire and greed, juxtaposed against the simple beauty of the natural world that Marie-Laure experiences through her heightened senses.
It forces you to question the true meaning of value. In a world where human life is so easily disregarded, what's captivating is how the diamond becomes a symbol, reflecting the multifaceted nature of humanity. For Marie-Laure's father, it represents a burden, a responsibility, a constant source of worry. Yet for the Nazi officer, vulnerable, it morphs into an obsession, a symbol of power, and a delusional hope for immortality.
That duality is incredible. It's as if the diamond refracts the various facets of human nature, revealing both our capacity for good and the potential for darkness within us.
It also sets the stage for a powerful exploration of how different individuals make choices under immense pressure, and how those choices ripple outward, affecting others in unforeseen ways. And it's through those choices, those individual acts of courage and resilience, that Doerr allows glimmers of light to pierce the darkness of war.
Whether it's Marie-Laure's determination to survive, or Werner's internal struggle against the Nazi ideology that's been ingrained in him, we see the enduring power of the human spirit. To resist, to adapt, to find hope even in the most challenging circumstances.
And this is just the beginning. We've only scratched the surface of their interwoven journeys.
I can't wait to delve deeper into the symbolism and the themes. I have a feeling you have some fascinating insights waiting for us in part 2.
You mentioned symbolism, and Doerr, he masterfully weaves it throughout the story. It's not just about what happens, but how it's represented through these recurring images and objects.
It's like he's giving us a key to unlock a deeper understanding of the characters and their motivations. I'm particularly intrigued by the model of Saint-Malo. It's more than just a navigational tool for Marie-Laure.
Absolutely. It's a microcosm of the world, a tangible representation of the chaos and uncertainty that surrounds her. The model is constantly being updated and changed by her father, mirroring the shifting landscape of war-torn Europe.
That constant state of flux, The sense that nothing is permanent really resonated with me. It's like the model itself becomes a metaphor for the fragility of life, the way things can change in an instant.
And for Marie-Laure, who experiences the world through touch and sound, the model offers a sense of control, a way to map her surroundings and find her bearings amidst the upheaval.
It's like she's creating her own internal compass, guiding her through the darkness.
Precisely. And then there's the Sea of Flames diamond. We touched on its symbolic weight earlier, but I'd love to explore its deeper meaning. Do you think it could be interpreted as a symbol of false hope? A distraction from the true horrors of war?
That's a really interesting perspective. On one hand, it represents beauty and allure, but on the other, it's a source of greed and violence, driving people to commit terrible acts.
It's fascinating how the diamond impacts each character differently, highlighting their individual values and motivations. For some, it's a symbol of power and wealth, a means to an end. For others, it represents a burden, a responsibility, a source of constant anxiety.
And then there's the imagery of light and darkness that permeates the novel. It's not just about Marie-Laure's blindness. It's woven into the very fabric of the story, reflecting themes of hope and despair, knowledge and ignorance, the seen and the unseen.
You see it in the way Marie-Laure experiences the world through her heightened senses, finding beauty in the sounds of the sea, the smell of rain, the texture of a seashell. It's like she sees a different kind of light that most people miss.
That's beautifully put. It made me think about how our perceptions shape our reality, how even in darkness, there can be beauty if we know how to look for it, and it contrasts so starkly with Werner's journey, where he's both literally and figuratively surrounded by darkness.
The tunnels he explores as a child, the strict confines of the Nazi academy, and later, the moral darkness of the war itself. It's as if he's constantly searching for a way out, a glimmer of light to guide him.
And it's through radio, a technology that relies on unseen waves, that their paths eventually intersect, creating this fragile thread of connection in a world fractured by conflict.
Radio becomes a powerful symbol in the novel, representing both the potential for connection and the danger of manipulation. For Werner, it starts as a source of wonder and knowledge, a way to explore the world beyond his limited circumstances. But as he's drawn deeper into the Nazi war machine, radio becomes a tool of propaganda, spreading darkness and misinformation.
It's a reminder that even the most powerful tools can be used for good or evil, depending on the intentions of those wielding them. And it highlights the importance of critical thinking, of questioning what we hear and see, especially in a world saturated with information.
Absolutely. The novel prompts us to consider how we navigate a world where truth can be distorted and manipulated, and how we can find our own inner compass to guide us through the darkness.
Doerr doesn't shy away from portraying the resistance movement in Saint-Malo, and I was particularly moved by how it extended beyond the battlefield.
It's a beautiful testament to the human spirit's ability to find strength and purpose, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Characters like Madame Manec, Marie-Laure's great aunt, exemplify this, taking in refugees, providing food and shelter, offering a haven amidst the storm.
It's a reminder that resistance can take many forms, and that even small acts of kindness and defiance can make a difference. I love the portrayal of those elderly women who form their own resistance group, subtly disrupting German communications and spreading hope through their actions.
They embody the quiet heroism that often goes unnoticed, but plays a vital role in undermining oppressive forces. And then there's Etienne, Marie-Laure's great-uncle, struggling with his own inner demons from the previous war.
It's inspiring how he finds the courage to use his knowledge of radio to support the resistance, transforming his trauma into a force for good.
These characters remind us that heroism doesn't always come in grand gestures. It's often found in the everyday choices we make, the small acts of compassion and courage that collectively create a ripple effect of hope and resilience.
And I think that's a powerful takeaway for us today. We may not be facing a world war, but we all have our own battles to fight, our own challenges to overcome.
All the light we cannot see reminds us that even in the darkest of times, it's possible to find the strength to resist, to persevere, to hold on to hope, and to make a difference in our own way.
It's a message that resonates deeply, prompting us to look for those glimmers of light within ourselves and in the world around us, even when things seem bleak.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, but there's still so much to unpack. In the next part, I'd love to explore how Doerr addresses the lingering impact of trauma, and how the novel ultimately leaves us with a sense of hope, despite the darkness that pervades the story.
I'm eager to dive back in, This conversation has already sparked so many new insights and perspectives. On this incredible book, you mentioned the lingering impact of trauma. It's woven into the lives of so many characters, shaping their choices and their perspectives on the world.
Doerr doesn't shy away from portraying the lasting scars, both physical and emotional, that war inflicts on individuals and communities. Etienne's struggle with PTSD, it's particularly poignant. He's haunted by memories of the previous war, plagued by anxiety and a deep fear of the outside world.
It makes you realize the battles don't end when the guns fall silent. The trauma can reverberate for years, even decades, shaping how people interact with the world and those around them.
And it's not just individual trauma. The entire town of Saint-Malo bears the weight of war, both physically, in the rubble and the constant threat of air raids, and emotionally, in the lingering sense of unease and uncertainty.
Even years after the conflict, there's this palpable tension, a sense that things are still fragile, that the world could shatter again at any moment.
Doerr masterfully captures that atmosphere of fragility, that lingering fear that permeates daily life, even amidst attempts to rebuild and find a sense of normalcy.
And then there's Werner, who's forced to confront the consequences of his choices, as he witnesses firsthand the brutality of the Nazi regime. The scene where he's forced to participate in the punishment of a prisoner, it's particularly harrowing.
It's a pivotal moment in his journey, a stark confrontation with the moral darkness that he's become entangled in. Doerr doesn't offer easy answers or simple judgments. Instead, he presents the complexities of war, the way it can warp individuals, forcing them to compromise their values and participate in acts they would normally abhor.
It's unsettling. But it forces you to ask yourself those tough questions. How would you react in similar circumstances? What choices would you make when faced with impossible odds and the pressure to conform?
It challenges the reader to confront the gray areas of morality, acknowledging that even in the darkest of times, there are shades of good and evil within each of us.
Despite the tragedy and loss that permeates the story, all the light we cannot see ultimately leaves you with a sense of hope, a belief in the resilience of the human spirit. Why do you think that is?
Doerr never lets us forget the power of human connection, the capacity for kindness and compassion, even amidst unimaginable suffering. It's in those small acts of resistance, those moments of shared humanity, that the true light shines through.
The scene where Werner, trapped in the rubble of the bombed hotel, connects with Marie-Laure through the radio. It's a perfect example. They're surrounded by death and destruction, yet they find solace and connection through the shared experience of a story.
It's a testament to the enduring power of storytelling, the way it can transcend physical barriers and connect us on a deeper emotional level. And it speaks to the importance of finding those moments of beauty and connection, even in the darkest of times.
Throughout the novel, we see characters making those small but significant choices to help others, to offer comfort, to preserve a sense of humanity in the face of dehumanizing circumstances.
Whether it's Madame Manec offering shelter to refugees, or the old women subtly disrupting German communications, or Marie-Laure's father creating a miniature world to help his daughter navigate the darkness, these acts of courage and compassion become beacons of hope amidst the shadows.
They remind us that even in the face of overwhelming odds, we have the power to choose kindness, to resist oppression, and to find meaning and purpose in our lives. I think that's a powerful message for anyone facing their own personal battles, their own moments of darkness.
Absolutely. All the light we cannot see reminds us that even when surrounded by darkness, there's always a glimmer of light to be found, if we're willing to look for it.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful. It's given me a whole new appreciation for the depth and complexity of all the light we cannot see.
It's a novel that stays with you long after you finish reading, prompting you to reflect on the choices we make, the connections we forge, and the enduring power of the human spirit.
If you haven't already experienced the brilliance of this Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, we encourage you to check out the link in the description, where you can purchase the book. And to keep exploring captivating worlds and thought-provoking ideas, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, keep those minds mindful.